Hi guys, very good afternoon to you and welcome to the video number 201. In this video we are going to talk about the charts. We are going to talk about the Excel charts, and I'm going to tell you actually that how to handle the charts when you have actually variations. When you have a huge variations, basically your data is really not so uniform, right? It has a lot of gaps. So definitely, we have here a question from Shifali. Let me just read out that email for you. I received this email yesterday. Hi Ajay, hope you're doing good. Thank you so much, Shifali. I'm stuck in these huge graph representations. Can you advise on how we can make good chart in Excel with the below data? So this is what exactly she has shared. The data you can see here that we have basically two legends here, and I can see here that the data actually has a lot of issues, right? These are the two columns with data starting from 0 to 31,000. Please advise, right? So let me just copy this data. This is what the data looks like. Let's just go to the Excel, and I'm just going to paste that data, right? So now here you can write whatever you want to write. For example, let's just write the sales 1. Just consider that this is the sales 1 and this is the sales 2. Okay, and here you can write A, B, C. I think this is what actually she has also sent out the email to me. Let me just have a look, guys. Just give me a second. So I received actually the email from Shifali, and yeah, so it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, right? So sort of this data. So we're going to work on this kind of a data, and let me just quickly prepare this. So now all right, so first thing I want to tell you that from now onwards actually I'm going to upload all the videos on the Excel 2013, because I have today only I have installed this. I have actually bought this Office 365 product from the Microsoft, from their website, and the wonderful thing is that they have given me 30 days of free trial, and I'm going to use it. And if you don't like it, you can definitely tell them, you can let them know they're not going to charge you on that. And if you want to continue with that, obviously you can. And I have taken basically the monthly subscription. So now every video from this video onwards is going to be on the Excel 2013. Previously, as you know, if you know my channel, that we were all recording the videos on the 2010. But I'm just sharing it with you. This has nothing to do with the technical aspect. There is obviously a couple of changes in the Excel 2013 version. It really doesn't look like the 2010, but the concept remains same, right? Okay, and I will be telling you that while making this graph, while dealing with this problem, I will be telling you that if you're using 7 or 10, then where you can actually go ahead. 2016 I haven't tried it so far. I'm going to test on this 2013 first, right? Okay, so now I want to tell you this is the data which Shifali has shared, and let me just write here item anything because I didn't get the headers from her. So this is, let's say, the sales 1 and this is the sales 2. Now if you look at this graph, now I don't have any idea if you actually know the concept of the graphs, because when you prepare the graph, the first thing which you need to remember, which you need to ensure, is that your data has to be properly structured. Okay, now what does that mean? Now that actually means that your data, first of all, the headers which are a part of your charts, they should all be together. For example, if you write here any header, let's say year, and you don't need that header, right, in the chart, then obviously you will have to skip it. So how to skip that, that's entirely a different thing. But what I'm trying to tell you is that all the headers which you need in the chart, they should be in the proper sync. They should come next to each other. The second thing is that basically your variation should not be really so high. Now if you look at this sales 1, you see that we are reaching somewhere 31,000, and about the rest values, we have just got 1500, 500, 400, 300, sort of these values. So what does that mean? Now that clearly means that there is actually a lot of data variation in this. Some data points are really very high, and some are so negligible, they are so minute. So if you go ahead and prepare the chart, let me just go ahead, let me select any of the cell on this data, and let me just click on the insert, and let's say we are going to form this chart, right? So this is the chart, the column chart I'm going to use. Now look at this. I can see my this M item, but I'm not able to see the rest of the items, right? And sales to, if you look at it, it's not even visible. That's really crap, you know. You can't actually use this chart for this to display all the values. So we will have to sort it out now, because you know a chart intelligence is, it's going to pick up the maximum and the minimum value. So the minimum value, it sees that all right, so it's 0, and the maximum is 3500. So while you know separating these points 0 to 5000, 5000 to 10,000, obviously when you're going to start like this, the numbers like 106, 17, 15, and especially these numbers 2, 5, you know, they're not going to be visible, though they are available in the chart, but you can't see them, right? So what is the first thing you want to do? So I believe the best solution is, first of all, you forget about this option. Okay, let me make it 0, for example. The moment you make it 0, look at this. The chart starts getting populated. Why? Because now your maximum number is going to be changed, which is 700 now. So according to the, you know, these values now 400, 255, 250, 248, and you know all the values, they are now visible. So it's just the problem is with this database, with this number, which is very high, 31,419. So how to deal with this? That's very interesting. Thank you so much, Shefali. It's indeed a very good question, actually. So now we are going to play. We are going to actually, you know, cheat on this. We are going to make one more chart, and I'm going to represent this 31,000 there, and then I'm going to combine this chart with that chart, right? That's the only way I think is possible. Okay. So what you can do is, guys, first of all, let's just prepare this chart, and let's forget about this 31,000. We really don't want that. Okay. Now, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to click here on this axis, right click on this, format axis, and this is what you would see here. Now, if you are, you know, working on the 2007 or 2010, then you would see a different kind of a pop-up. But again, that's just the formatting issue. That's just the way, you know, it looks a little different, but ultimately you will have to go to the axis option, this option. Okay, you would see there on this in the 2010 Excel directly. I mean, you will not have these options basically that you click and then, you know, it expands. So basically that option is not there. So just go to the option, axis option, and 0 we would like to keep it, but the maximum will not like to keep this 35,000. So find out which is the maximum number, the second highest number, which is, I believe it's 629. Okay, so 629 means that maybe I can write here 650 or 700. I think that is more than enough, right? That is also going to cover this 496. So just delete this max number, and so by default it's always on the auto mode. Your chart, when you create the chart, your Excel automatically finds the minimum, the maximum value, but you can change it, right? So this is what we are going to do it. So I'm going to keep this maximum to 700, right? Now this is the maximum number. Click outside this, and there we go. So your chart is now looks like this, which I believe is looking good, right? This looks nice. Would you like to create the major unit as well? Now major unit means that the gap between these numbers 0, 100, 200, you see the gap, we have a gap of 100 units. Why? Because here it is written as 100. So if I'm going to make it, let's say maybe 50, let me just check if I can make it or not. Okay, now click outside of it. So there we go. So this looks, again, I think it is okay, because you have so many you know, numbers here displaying here the units. So maybe we can do one thing, we can increase it to 70. The 70, I think, yeah, this is nice. This is okay, 0 to 70, because I also want to show the sales to part, right, which is here. Okay, now let me remove the grid lines. Just select these grid lines and just delete them. Or what you can do is you can click on this plus sign, and you can uncheck this grid line. Now this is a wonderful option in the 2013. I am just using it. This is my first video on the 2013, right? And I really like this. Now they have actually given this button over here where you can play around with all these, you know, layout options. If you're working on 2010 or 7, then what happens when you select this chart tool gets activated. So under this chart tool, you have an option there called layout, which I'm not able to see here. Well, it might be there. There might be some other option which you can click and get it here, but right now I'm just trying to get a hang of it, so not sure. But yes, the same option, I mean, under chart tools in the Excel 2010 or 7, you just, when you click on the chart tools, you would see next to the design layout. Just click on the layout, and then over here, somewhere here, you have all these options one by one. data labels, data table, chart titles and everything, right? But in 2013 what they did, they added here. I think that saves your time, so that's a good thing. I'm really liking this option. So what I want to do is I just want to get rid of these grid lines, so just uncheck this, okay? Or the other way around is if I undo it, you can simply select the grid lines and just remove that, because we don't really need the grid lines. Okay, that is the first thing. Let me now just give it a little space. Okay, now this is your chart first of all, and let's just increase the height as well, because then this axis is going to keep some, you know, space between these all the pointers. Okay, now what is the next thing we want to do? I can give the chart title. Let's say I want to give this chart title name called sales. Okay, you can give the name of your choice, no problem. Now the point is, if you look at this M company, I select this and it goes really very high, and the reason obvious, because you know it actually is a very high number, 31,419, and it is not able to adjust within this range which we have created, 0 to 700, right? And if I'm going to make this 0 to, let's say 30,000 to 32,000 or maybe, then you know that what would be the problem. The rest of the values which you are able to see right now, they are not going to be visible. They are going to be take very less space on the chart, and that is going to give you a very wrong picture. It's not a good, you know, somebody cannot make out a really good analysis from that chart, as I was telling you in the beginning, you know, I showed you. So now what we need to do, let's create one more chart, guys. Okay, let me just pull it here. Okay, now I'm going to create the copy it and paste it, Control V, Control C and Control V. I did that. Okay, so I guess what we can do is we can remove this header, chart title. I don't need this, so just go there and uncheck this chart title. All right, there you go. So now let's just put this chart just over this chart. Okay, let's just put it here right now. Okay, and I'm going to just reduce the height of this little height. Yeah, okay, now I don't need the legends, because legends are already there in my chart, right? So I just click on the delete. Remember, I have copied this, and that's why you see the same colors of the legends, right? If you're going to create the next chart, maybe the color may come different, so prefer to copy this and paste it, so that you should have a same color for the sales 1 and sales 2, right? Because this chart I'm going to link with this chart, so I just delete these numbers, these legends. Now I also don't need this ABCDEF items, because they are already there in this chart, right? So just go to this and plus sign and remove the axis. Again, I'm repeating, this is the 2013. If you're using 2010 or before version, 2007, then you need to go to the chart tools, and after the next design option you will have your chart layout. Okay, in the layout option, click there and you would find this axis option there. So just need to uncheck that, right? Now in this axis, because the chart is always has two axes, x-axis or y-axis, so which axis we want, just click on this arrow sign, and we don't need the basically the horizontal axis, so I just uncheck it and there we go. Now you don't see that axis, right? Okay, now this is one part is done. Now what is the next thing we want to do? Now you see in this chart I don't want to show any other item, the items which has a sale like 1500, 629, you know, all these items, because they are coming here in this chart. This chart is only dedicated to the number called 31419. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to act here very smart. I again click here. Okay, the moment you click here, you would see here axis option. Okay, and in your case 2010, you have to click right click and you need to click on the format axis. Once you click on the format axis, this is the kind of other window you would get on your 2010 or 2007. Very simple. Now you see, guys, because I want to show only you know, this 31,419, so definitely I don't want to start with the 0, because if I start with the 0, then automatically these values will also be captured. So let's start from somewhere which is which number is actually, you know, the bigger than all these values. So maybe I can start it from, let's say I can start it from 10,000, not a problem. Okay, 10,000. Let me start here. Now after the 10,000, what is the maximum value I want to go? I want to definitely go to you know, I want to go to this 32540. I'm keeping it 32520. That's fine. And the major means, you see, lot of, you know, this chaos is created here. You can't see all the, there is no space basically between the numbers. When you start from 0 to 70, you see the gap is 70. So if you start from 10,000 and the gap is you're going to give 70, then you can imagine that, you know, after every the difference of the 70, you would have these numbers coming, and that is why, you know, you're not able to see it. So we are definitely going to create the gap, and I believe we can create the gap of maybe 5,000 is fine, because then the next number would be 15,000, or maybe you can create the 10,000 as well. Let us see. There we go. Now you can see that we have got all the numbers perfect, right? Okay, so now this number is changed to 40,000. Because if you're going to give the gap, if you're going to start from 10,000 and you're going to give the gap of 10,000, then 10,000, 20,000, then again adding 10,000 will make it 30,000, and again you're going to add, you know, 10,000 is going to make 40,000, right? So if you want to change it, you can change it, but I guess that's fine. Let's just keep it like this, right? It looks good. Okay, now what is the next thing we want to do? Now in this case, we are going to remove the borders, because right now anyone who is going to see this chart, you know, they can see that the borders are created and somebody has created basically two charts, and that is, you know, what exactly I don't want to show them. We will not like to show them, right? So just put them exactly, you know, just put them over the second chart, just put it over the first chart, just ensure that, you know, they actually look like in the same dimensions, right? It is not going to look like this, you know, just moving here or there. So I'm going to just put them right over this value, which is this value. Okay. Now the next thing which I want to do is I want to remove the border. So I click on the border part. Okay, when you click on the border part, you can again right click and you can go to the format chart area, or because I'm using this 2013, so I have this window right in front of me. So it's as I said, you know, this is a good thing they have done in the 2013. Now you can save a lot of time. So now we want to say no line. We don't need it. Just click on the no line and click here and look at this. Now there's no line basically. Now the outer portion, you don't have any line. Similarly, I'm going to click on this chart also, and I'm going to say that no line, I don't need the line. Now look at this. This is how the chart would look like. Okay, remove the grid lines as well from this Excel sheet, and there we go. Now this is how the chart looks like. Definitely we can go ahead and we can give it a, you know, maybe you can give it some color in case, though I avoid it, generally I avoid it. In this case maybe you want to give it, you can, so that chart this all looks like, you know, a part of both these separate charts look like that they are part of the same chart, right? So in this way maybe you can write it. And now what is the next thing we can do is just go to the insert, because I want to create the border line as well. Okay, so I go to the insert, and here I am going to click on the shapes. Okay, in your option in 2010 when you click insert, you would see here shapes, but in 2013 they have, you know, put it here. So I'm going to click on this part. So this is what I'm going to just draw here, so that we can have a border. Yeah, that's one, right? So now once it is created, this window, go to the format window. This looks exactly the same as the previous versions, and over here you need to check that you know, the option which says that basically no fill. So let's say I have this no fill option. Let me check it, click on this. No, this is not working basically. So let me just click on the format again, and so we have some options here. You can see here, using these options I can make this transparent basically. If I select this option, then, you know, the charts which we have prepared, they're just coming, actually we're not able to see them, right? Because this the shape is actually superseding them, so it's taking their space, and I can see that, you know, I can see through. So what I can do is I can choose these presets. Now in 2010 these options are available in somewhere here. So just click on these, all the three drop downs, and you would find there, you know, these options preset. So basically the idea is to how to make this transparent. That's it. I click on this option, and there we go. All right, so I still don't see it, which is very bad. Let me just click back on this picture, and let's have a look on, yeah, this one. Let's have a look, because this has actually the border, or maybe this one also you can choose, right? Okay, there we go. All right, now look at this. So in this way, you know, you can have this chart. Now There's one more thing you can do, guys. You can, though I think this looks fine, you can create here, you know, kind of a breakpoint as well, a kind of the mark, you know, where you can say that, all right, so this is really somewhere, you know, going above it. So you can go to this insert option and you can choose a shape, maybe the shape like just wanted to actually create some mark over there, so maybe you can choose this and just draw it here and just keep it like this. Okay, and reduce the size. I'm going to make it very small actually. Okay, this looks like a semi-moon, like this. That's it. Okay, and further I can go ahead and actually reduce it. Okay, all right, so just put it here. Okay, just to give an idea that, you know, we are actually going really way ahead, you know, just a sign of it. And I can give it a different color. So go there and choose this black color. Select this. I'm gonna give this a black color. And or maybe you can go to the format and you can give the color from here as well. This one, yeah, the black one. Okay, that's how it is created. And what else we can do? Let me just select this border area of the second chart, this one I'm talking about, and let's just drag it down, little down. Yeah, there we go. So in this way, I mean, you know, you can basically make this graph. So in this way you will be able to do the justice, right? And just let's just align them little here because they are not coming in the proper sync. Yeah, that's fine. I think that looks nice. All right, and you can put it here. Maybe here you can put it sales, and let me just write here. I think this looks nice. I mean, you can be, let me just undo it. Okay, so in this way we can do it. One more thing, you can, if you want to show this really very high number, you can also you know, click on this chart, the upper one. Okay, when you click on this upper chart, this one, just go here and use this option called data label. The moment you click on the data label, you see that you would get this number, which looks very nice, right? Because rest of the numbers you will not be able to see because they are very less. So we have started from 10,000, so definitely they are not going to be visible here, and that is the trick. So this number you can further go ahead and you can make it a red or green, whatever, I mean, that depends. And I can give it a little, you know, maybe I can increase the size as well, but I prefer that you just go ahead and, you know, maybe you can give it a color called a different color, you know, sort of this color maybe, and make it italic. And that's it, I guess. Rest is all up to you. How do you want to actually go with that, right? So in this way you can create this chart. And about the sales too, I guess, because they are really very less, so I mean, they're still visible, but you know, so I would say that for that you can do one thing. You may go ahead and you know, choose this chart and show their data label again. So just go there and click on the data label. Now when you click on the data this label, just click on this arrow, and now you can create them on the center, inside, outside. You know, there are a lot of options, so I'm going to create them on the maybe outside end. Okay, so I create them on the outside end, and now they are showing up for basically both the headers, sales 1 and sales 2. But for the sales 1 we don't need that because they are quite visible. So what you can do is you can go there, you can select them one by one, and you know, you can actually delete them, right? That is basically the point. So I delete this, and then I'm gonna, in fact I don't need them at all. You just select them and delete them, and what is left is, now you have your numbers called 15 is okay. So let me undo it. Basically we need the different numbers, so I select the another option, which is the data labels for the sales one and I delete them. Is it coming correct? No, it's not. So let's do one thing. Let's select this this option and let's just delete it. Okay, now what is left is you have your these sales 2 values, you can see here, right? So these values, I mean, they're coming here and they're coming here as 0 0 0 0 0. So in this way, I mean, you can work on that, and you can further go ahead and give them some color. Maybe they would be more visible like this, and just make them little bold. Okay, and you can reduce the size as well. I can make them, let's say 6. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine, I think. So in this way you will have your sales 2 and sales 1, everything. Sales 1 can be somebody can have a look and they can see directly there, and about the sales 2, you know, you can show them in this way as well by using the data labels. You can further go ahead and you can drag them and you can show them separately as well, just little, you know, if you want to change their direction. For example, I select this and I can drag it here and there as well, so that, you know, they should look clean, right? So in this way, wherever you have a 0, somebody who's going to watch this chart, they know that, all right, so sales 2 is not here, you know, it's nothing here. And for the items like H and I, you can see that the number is coming here, so they can see that it's really very less basically. Okay, so in this way, I mean, you can make your chart. This is going to look, I think, fine. And let me know then about this option, if it is useful or not. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, guys, please do that. Subscribe to the channel as well. You have the link on the bottom right corner. And I'm signing off now. We'll come back with another video very soon. Till then, you have a very good learning. I wish you very good learning and hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.